What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing some CPU stuffs, in particular with good old Hotline to the left of me here. Basically we're going to be scoping in on Hotline's CPU, which is the original chip that I installed when I first built the system. The 5960X. 6950X wasn't even out yet. It's 5960X, Core i7 Haswell E flagship, all that stuff, 8 core 16 thread maths from Intel. Cool, right? Yeah, who cares, Kyle? The chip's been out for like ages, bro. It's all about the 6950X now. I know, that's why you didn't let me finish. That's why after I'm done testing the 5960X, I'm gonna swap it out for the 10 core, 20 thread Core i7 6950X. Yeah, Broadwell E, bitches. It's gonna be sweet. And of course, we already know it's overpriced, $1,700. I can't really say that because it's just such a high number. And every review that I've seen or read pretty much says the same thing. That's overpriced as frick. But it doesn't make me any less curious to see or find out how much faster or how much more able or capable it is to handle a CPU intensive workload. So I'm gonna be throwing a hell of a workload, CPU-wise, at both of these setups with either chip. It's actually going to be one test. I'm not doing a full suite of benchmarks, guys. I'm just doing one test on each chip. However, that test is going to be a monstrosity of things. It's actually a series of smaller tests underneath. So why don't we go ahead and take a look at that. I'm going to go ahead and switch gears to the Predator X34 because I have all the testing stuff already low. There goes my lav transmitter. It's okay. I've already got everything transmitted. Whoa, I just crossed over into that dimension. Get out of my head. Let's just take a look at the screen. All right, so what exactly are we going to be running for this test? Well, we're going to be running a number of things. First of which is a game. So I've got GTA 5 loaded up here, which is a very highly CPU intensive game. Does not mess around on the cores at all. So that's going to be running at 1920 by 1080, fully maxed out settings, 4x MSAA and all that. And that's actually, we've got fraps in the corner there. I'm going to be doing some frapsing to check the frame rates, both average and minimum. And then we're going to go ahead and stream that as well with XSplit Broadcaster. That's going to be streamed out at 1920 by 1080, 60 FPS, no holds barred. It's going to be crazy. We're going to see how many dropped frames we get on either setup using either of those CPUs. Hopefully 0 for both, but we'll see. And then finally, just to spice things up, I've got Adobe Media Encoder here. We've got a 90-second HD, that's full HD, 1920 by 1080, 60 FPS, or 30 FPS I should say, clip here that we're going to be encoding while we're streaming, while we're gaming. So these three things, and of course, you know, Google Chrome open all the while, those three applications for the most part are going to be running Adobe Premiere Pro in particular, or Adobe Media Encoder. When you're encoding stuff, especially with a program like this, it's going to be utilizing all the cores. So it's going to be pretty intensive. Just fun fact here, I actually tried to crank the system even harder, and I tried running Handbrake at the same time as all this, and it B-sodded after about 5 minutes. Wasn't able to do shit. I tried it multiple times, just kept B-sodding, so I've since then removed Handbrake from this test. But it seems like this is where we've hit the ceiling, and I'm just curious. I'm just curious to see what kind of frame rates we can get, if we can get 0 drop frames, and how quickly we can encode this 90-second HD video all at the same time with either CPU. So first off, we've got the OG 5960X in here, again, overclocked to 4500 megahertz, and just for shits and gigs, even though it doesn't matter too much, we've got two GTX 980 Ti's in SLI right there, of course in Hotline, custom water-cooled. That is an X99 Sabertooth from good old Asus. We've got 16 gigs of RAM, DDR4, and that pretty much thumbs it up. So why don't we go ahead and run this test. I'll circle back and catch you guys after it's done. Yo dog, I heard you like numbers, so I put some numbers with your numbers. Yeah, so thank you Exhibit. These are our results, our numbers for today for this first test with the 5960X overclocked. And as you can see, it rendered our video in Adobe Premiere Pro, or Media Encoder I should say, in 2 minutes and 25 seconds. I'm sure we would have shaved that down quite a bit had we not been streaming and gaming at the same time. So hopefully we can shave that down with the 6950X. For gaming, now GTA 5, all right, again, hotline, all right, 2 GTX 980 Ti's and SLI. SLI was enabled for this test, and right now we have the system just kind of not idling, but we're not streaming, we're not encoding anything, we just have GTA 5 loaded up here. And look at the frame rate, y'all. We're getting a steady 75. We look around like, oh, look at that. I'm getting in the hundos over there for a sec. Whoa, hey there. So, excuse me. Pretty good numbers. It's no slouch in the gaming department. However, start up a stream at 1080, 60 FPS, and start encoding a video at 1080, 30 FPS, then look at how far the frame rates drop in our gameplay. Average of 22 FPS and a minimum of 6. That's not even playable. That's gonna be the worst stream ever. So hopefully, what I'm hoping is that I'm curious to see if we swap in the 6950X, if those numbers actually go up. Not because the 6950X is a better gaming chip or a faster gaming chip by any means than the 5960X, because it's not, but because it's got more cores and more threads to work with, maybe it'll just be more efficient and have more bandwidth, so to speak, for things like Premiere and streaming, and that could potentially free up some more CPU bandwidth for GTA 5, which is a highly processor-intensive game. So, very curious to see how that works out. But for now, we've got 0 drop frames, so on XSplit, which is fantastic, which means anyone who is watching our live stream on Twitch on the other end is seeing things pretty clearly. No drop frames, no choppiness, other than the frame rate, of course, of the game itself. So there's not really any room for improvement there that we can go to. That's a perfect score on the streaming front. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and attempt to drain this system that I've been known to damage things that way before, and swap in this 10-core 20-thread chip right here to see exactly what we get. It should be fun. It should be fun. I knew something bad was going to happen during this video, especially during the CPU swap here. So basically, I drained the system just fine. I swap in the CPU. 6950X is currently installed just fine. And as I'm filling the loop back up, this son of a biatch decides to leak on me. You, stop being blurry. This guy, you can see there's even a drop that's ready to drop right there. Drop the bass. Okay, anyway, but see, why? Why was this not leaking before? I made sure that it was tight. It's actually not leaking from there. It's not leaking from, you know, where the crevice between the fitting and the reservoir. It's actually leaking between this crevice right here, where my nail is. So, it's just a bad fitting, I guess. Just decided to go wrong right now. So, I don't actually have any elbows in that color. That's a black double 45. Which I do not have. Fortunately, I scrounged around for stuff, and I have this one. This is a chrome one. It'll do just fine. It won't match for shit. It'll look horrible in Hotline, but at least it's gonna work. At least it'll be functional. It's just temporary. Otherwise, if I didn't have that, I would be completely out of order. I would not be able to do the rest of this video. It would have to wait for a later time. And I wouldn't be able to do any work on Hotline that I currently have stored on it. So, I guess it's gonna work out in the end, but it's just oh god. Custom water cooling, guys, and I know all you guys are already raging in the comments. See, this is why I never custom water cool. Well, you know what, right now, I'm totally on board with you. Screw it. Screw Jay, screw Terry Crews. No, I'm totally joking. But I gotta admit, this is a little irksome, so I'm gonna go ahead and take care of that right now, and hopefully we'll get back on track with the real point of this video. Thanks for ruining my video. leaking in the middle of it. This set me back like an hour and a half to 2 hours of production time. But the new fitting's in there. It's nickel plated. Looks like total crap in here, but hey, it stopped the leaking. And you know what? It's a good temporary replacement until the black fitting comes in the mail and stuff. But moving on to the actual topic of this video, I have installed the 6950X. It's inside of the system, safe and sound. It's overclocked to 4300 megahertz. I tried to do 44. It was looking good until I started up the stream and the encoding and the game, and then it crashed every single time. So I dialed it down to 4300. Seems rock solid stable. I ran the test a couple times and it just seems perfectly fine. So that's what we're clocking it at, 4300 compared to the 4500 on the 5960X, and these are our numbers. Yes, I already ran the tests. I am just one step ahead of you guys. So here we go. Starting with Premiere, you can see I've masked off the good stuff, the FPS, because I want it to be a surprise. But we've got Premiere here, 2:25, 2 minutes and 25 with the 5960X. Switching to the 10 core, we shaved that encoding time down to 2 minutes and 4 seconds. So it actually took us 13% longer or so with the 8 core than it did the 10 core. So that's actually not too bad. It's not a giant savings, but you know, if you're gonna be rendering like 4K stuff that's like 10 plus minutes long, that's gonna add up over time, and that's gonna save you hours upon hours in the long run. Moving on to GTA 5. Let's see what we have here. By the way, the parentheses is the 6950X, if you didn't figure that out already. So average on the 8 core was 22, went up to 38 frames per second on average with the 6950X. A 72% bump in performance. That's actually incredible. And look at this, 6 to 15 for the minimum, 150% gain. That was my assumption, was that hopefully we were gonna see some higher frame rates just simply because we had more cores and threads, not so much that would help our game, but would help the encoding and the streaming workload. And again, that would allow for some additional bandwidth for our CPU intensive game, which it certainly did. That's actually pretty impressive, and something to consider if you do have a crazy ass budget for a CPU and you're a Twitch streamer, for example, and I don't know, you have an intense workload similar to the one we've run today, then maybe this is a chip that you should consider, because that, I mean, granted, 38 frames per second was not the best. It wasn't ideal when I was playing it and when I was frapsing it and stuff. It wasn't the best, but it was certainly a hell of a lot more playable than the 22 frames per second with the 5960X. So there's something to be said there. Especially, you know, if you were to crank down some settings, maybe you're streaming, maybe you should turn the stream down to 720. 60 frames per second and not 1080. Maybe that would gain you some additional frames there. Who knows? Maybe we'll do a part 2 follow-up. Let me know in the comments if you have any ideas for that. So, I don't know. Altogether, it's an expensive-ass CPU. That's already known, but it does pack quite a punch over the 5960X just by having those 4 additional logical cores there. And I think, I don't know, there's not much else I want to say. I just wanted to give you guys the facts, let you think for yourselves about it, reflect, meditate, and all that good stuff. But I think I'm out of here because I've got a bunch of other stuff to do today. And sorry guys if this video seemed a bit haphazardly thrown together. It was. I'm actually going to Lake Havasu next week for like 4 or 5 days with my in-laws. I don't know why, but because of that, I'm actually really rushed this week to get all the content done for next week. So sorry if it seems a little bit rushed, but thank you for watching, and also shout out to Intel for for providing the 6950X, because I would have never bought it myself. I'm too poor. Yeah, thank you for making this video possible, Intel. They did not sponsor this video. It's not a sponsored video. I was not paid to say any good stuff about Intel. They just allotted me the chip for review and testing. So thank you to you guys. I guess Team Blue. Do people call Intel Team Blue? AMD's Team Red. NVIDIA gets green. It makes sense, right? But that's gonna do it for now, guys, so be sure to toss me a like on this video if you enjoyed it, and also check the description down there. Check my store. I'm selling new Bitwit shirts with the new logo. It looks pretty sexy if I do say so myself. So go ahead and check those out, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm out of here. Go ahead and have yourselves a good day and good night, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.